talking to you about the full moon coming up for us in Pisces on September the 9th. But just as background to this, we've had a pretty intense few weeks. Through August, we had at the maximum 6 planets in fixed signs, which are very much associated with intensity. And people were feeling the pressure in various ways, but it was strong, strong energy. Gradually, through September, we have fewer planets in fixed signs. The Sun has already moved from Leo, a fixed sign, into Virgo. Venus also moves from Leo into Virgo on the 6th, but Mars stays in Scorpio, another fixed sign, until the 14th. Now, Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio, so it's a very strong place for Mars energy to be. Mars is assertion and aggression. So in Scorpio, it's very willful, it's very focused, passionate, intense, and as it moves through the last few degrees of Scorpio, it's almost like it's moving to the end of the scorpion's tail, if you like. So people who feel they've been pushed too far may lash back. We may get the lashback of the scorpion's tail. So very much watch for that in your world and the world. But on the 9th, we have this full moon in Pisces. It's going to be at 16 degrees, 19 minutes of Pisces, and it's going to happen at 2:38 a.m. UK time. Now, this is also a supermoon. It's the last of 5 that we've had this year. And at a supermoon, as you may well know, the moon is at one of its closest points to the Earth, so it exerts a much stronger magnetic and gravitational pull on the Earth's tectonic plates and on the tides. So it's very common to see extreme weather at that time, or high tides, and even non-astrological people are very aware of that. So at a full moon, the Sun and the Moon are also always opposite each other. So the Sun is in Virgo and the Moon is in Pisces. And the Moon is also conjunct Chiron. Now, Chiron is often referred to as the mystic bridge. It's about helping us move our perspective from the material to the spiritual. Venus is also opposed by Neptune at this full moon, and Neptune rules Pisces. So it's connected to imagination, healing, dreams, the unconscious. It's a very spiritual planet. So the connection of the Moon and the Venus to Chiron and Neptune really reminds us of our spiritual resources. And it reminds us to connect to something greater than ourselves. Now, people who will feel this full moon most are people born any year between the 5th and the 9th of March, 5th and the 9th of June, 7th to the 11th of September, or the 6th to the 10th of December. And Pisces energy is loving, it's compassionate, it's devotional. This is the sign of mystics and poets. So it's a beautiful energy to just surrender, to be in nature, to meditate, to listen to music, to tune in whichever way you choose, but just surrender after all the intensity. And if you know your own chart well, where does 16 degrees of Pisces fall in your chart? Which emotional cycle of completion is working for you now in which area of life? What are you done with? What emotional pattern or behaviour do you not want to repeat? It's a very good time to think about new intentions that you're going to be setting. And then on the 13th of the month, we have Mercury, planet of the mind, opposed by Uranus. So this is a very strong mental energy, very high mental vibration. This aspect is sometimes referred to as the mind of God. It's a superconscious perception. It's sensitive people often say they get a download of material at this time that they can't rationalize. It's about creative inspiration, original thinking, ingenuity. It's about insight, and it's very fast. It happens, the thinking happens very quickly. So be aware that your mind may be moving faster than your mouth on that day. But if you're working in the creative area, it can be very inspiring to produce something really different, really unique. On the 14th, Mars then moves from Scorpio into Sagittarius, and that's a very different, much lighter energy. But I'll be talking about that in my next video. And in that video, I'll also be talking, of course, about the autumn solstice, which is coming up, and about a very important new moon in Libra. But for the meantime, enjoy that big, beautiful full moon, supermoon in Pisces on September the 9th. And thank you for listening.